First off, it is set October 8th, 1904. Albert Einstein and Pablo Picasso are on the verge of an amazing idea. Einstein will publish a special theory of relativity in 1905, and our man Picasso paints Le Musée d'Avignon in 1907, discovering Cubism. They find themselves at the Lapin Agile, where they have a lengthy debate about the value of genius and the talent while interacting with a host of other eccentric characters. Thus, the brilliant comedy ensues. Steve Martin's Picasso at the Lapin Agile. Joining us now is Jeremy Gwynn, who plays Einstein, along with the director of the show, Martin Andrews. Guys, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
So, let's talk about doing this piece. Doing a piece from, in my opinion, a comic genius of Steve Martin. How difficult is it to like step into the role of director and really navigate this crazy show that really has such deep roots in history?
Yeah, you know what is great about his writing is it's not one thing. Mm-hmm. One thing is boring.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to be all over the place, and his writing takes us from the corny joke to the gut-busting joke to these really poignant moments. Mm-hmm. So I think as a director, one of my jobs was to say, you're not in a farce.
Right.
You're not in a Saturday Night Live skit.
Mm-hmm.
There are moments that are farcical, and you're in the skit, but you have to be able to embrace the next moment, which could be a very meaningful meditation on art and science.
Right.
So that was my job, is to say, be open to all the differences within the play.
Yeah, and he really does. I mean, the script really works with a lot of perpendicularities to it, that you do have this, eccentric, crazy moment. I mean, the concept itself of Einstein and Picasso meeting in a bar, as we were talking in Picasso this morning, sounds like the setup to a joke.
Yeah.
Right. These geniuses walk into a bar and comedy ensues. So, as playing Einstein, playing such an important historic figure in a comedy, how do you approach that as an actor?
Well, a big part is kind of stepping back and looking and seeing how he fits into the overall story, because it's not just a play about Einstein, it's about Einstein and Picasso, and we were talking earlier about just this range of other characters who are in there that kind of flesh out this experience at this bar.
Yeah.
So kind of seeing how he fits in with those, and then taking a look, at the historical elements of who Einstein was, and looking at the really, kind of comedic moments that Steve Martin has found from Einstein's past, and kind of figuring out how to convey that, and then bringing all of that together. I think that's something Martin has done really well, is kind of keeping all of us on task to don't just get too caught up, in this Einstein-Picasso, but kind of look at the big picture. What are the journeys that they're taking throughout this play? Right.
Now, a big question that I think a lot of people have, and obviously this was a question that Steve Martin would answer, but in your artistic opinions, why Einstein, why Picasso? Why those two geniuses meeting?
I think no two people shaped art and science in the 20th century like Einstein and Picasso. And each of them, I think, were providing a very unique vision for the world. The world up to the 20th century had been consistent. For thousands of years, people rode horses. People walked. The interactions there was a simple agrarian life.
Right.
And in the 20th century, things explode. Right. And we begin to see all these different possibilities in life. Picasso creates a form of art that says, we're going to look at a violin and a piece of fruit on a table from 9 different angles.
Right.
And I'm going to show you that in Cubism.
Right.
Einstein says, well, things are relative to where you're standing. How fast something goes, the speed of something is relative to where you are.
Right.
So this fractured life, this high-speed life, is the life of the 20th century.
Right, okay. Now, one thing I think that is very cool, a wonderful show, but this is the premiere show at the new Vortex Theater. So tell us, it opens tomorrow night, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so how's the experience been working and being the first show out the gate?
Yeah, what about you as an actor?
It's been interesting. They're in this big transition into the new space and not kind of knowing what it's going to look like, what it's going to be like. And getting in there the first night was really kind of great, because they do have an amazing space set up there. For folks who know Albuquerque, can get pretty hot in the summer. They got great air conditioning in there.
That's good. So people that know the Vortex Theater, they know that that's sometimes been a challenge in years past.
Right.
So.
But it's exciting to get in there. It is kind of exciting to see it kind of taking shape around the production as we get going. So I think it's going to be a fantastic new space for the theater.
That's great. So Martin, it opens tomorrow. How long does it run?
It runs through
the end of September. Every weekend in September.
Fantastic, guys. Well, for more information, to book your tickets to Picasso at the Lapin Agile, head over to Casa.com. Click on the Style tab. Guys, break legs.
Thanks so much.
We're going to head over to Brittany now.